So today I wanted to show you some freaking useful things you can do with beat repeat. Beat repeat is one of these things that is there, but you don't use it. Well, I don't use it a lot, but when I pull it out and start using it, it's really, really powerful and it's just fantastic and just kind of like, really like beat repeat. And it's just been around since, well, from what I can remember from the beginning of live. And it's just one of these just cool tools, and I'm going to prove it to you by showing you a few techniques of how I use beat repeat. Now, I am no expert in beat repeat. I'm not going to show you every single function that's here. I'm going to show you the ones that I think make sense for the sounds, and I think the best way to do that is just to get cracking. So what I'm going to do is let you hear a sample that I put in a bit earlier. It's got nothing on it. Let's just have a quick listen. Put the volume down a bit. Now, if you just play with beat repeat by itself, it's going to come up with some weird shit, right? So let's listen to this. So what I recommend is you just mess around a bit. You play around, and there's a few certain sections of beat repeat which I think are pretty critical to sort of understand. You've got this interval. This just shows you how much of the bar is going to be inside the repeat. And this shows you the offset, like where it starts in the bar that you're using. Then you've got the grid. So kind of the higher the grid, like if you go 132 or 124, it will just be a smaller grid. So the repeat happens much faster because it's within a smaller bar within the track. The bigger the number, so if you go up to 1/8, it's just a slower one, it's a lower repeat. So let's just listen to the difference between 1/8 and 116. Listen to 112s. So it goes more repetitive as you go up the grid. And let's just try a different offset position. So it starts in a different position on the bar. You can really start to tell that as you move things around, something's starting to sound good. Let's just play a little bit more. Now the gate is like any sort of gate, it opens up what comes through. So the smaller the gate, like this, more comes through quicker, kind of more of a reverby. And the smaller the gate, the less will be pushed through. The chance of it being repeated is reduced. Then you got variations. And this is really setting the variation to the size of the grid. Let's just move this back to the beginning. The other thing that is worth looking at is pitch. So even if you move it up one semitone, you can hear a difference in sort of the way the thing gradiates up, and then you use pitch decay, and that's how fast it goes up the semitone. Actually, in this case, it's going down because you can only go down semitones. You can reduce the volume of the beat repeat. And then finally, to complete our lesson, you've got filter. This just gives you a filter on the repeat. So what's really important to note here is all of this is doing is repeating shit out of the sample. Sorry for swearing. It's repeating stuff out of the sample. What you've got here is how much you want to mix this, what's been repeated against the original sample. And then you've got these other really two important buttons. One is called insert mode. So this mutes the original signal when the repetitions are playing, so it's passing it otherwise. And then you've got gate. So gate only passes the repetitions. You only hear the repetitions, which is pretty useful. So let's just hear what it sounds like with insert and gate. So here you can hear the filter come through a bit more, and gate you only hear the repeats. So you really just hear the effect of what you're doing. So once again, you're probably thinking, well, none of this sounds particularly good, but that's because you really need to play around with all of the facets of this. It becomes really powerful when you use decay as well, because decay is the speed at which it fades away. So let's just listen to this. And now you're still thinking this doesn't sound good, but what I did earlier is I kept playing and playing, and I came up with something that sounded half decent. Now, once you add a delay, and start messing with a filter and a kickstart. Let's add a drum loop. Change the offset. So I think that sounds not too bad and is useful. And I think beat repeat really shines with drum loops. So let's just listen to it by itself again. Now we'll just add beat repeat again. Now, this is a beat I came up with earlier with beat repeat. So I just changed the grid just to hear a bit of a slightly different variation. So just moving the decay around really changes the sound, and I've only got insert here, but I can use gate. But it sounds better for drums, it sounds better with the insert. Filter. Let's change the grid again. Reduce the volume. Just change the variation. Change the pitch. Change the pitch. Now I've just changed it to 1/6. Listen to how funky that sounds. Just increasing the pitch. Change the gate, just make it a bit shorter. Let's change the interval, see what it sounds like then. So you literally have like a new drum beat, something pretty funky. And that is it. I could go on forever, and I can have so much fun with my beat repeat little toy. But I hope this was a useful little tutorial for you guys. And if I got anybody using beat repeat again, then I've done my job. So thank you very much, and catch you on the next video. Bye.